I've been able to build up a profitable freelance portrait photography business that lands me paid shoots with clothing brands, models, production companies that give me creative control and allow me to be the photographer I've always wanted to be, all in the space of under 3 years. So I'm not a photographer with like a decade or like 20 years of experience that has no idea what your reality is like as a beginner, but I'm a photographer that was in your position not so long ago. And I want to help you fast track your progress in building this business with 3 main steps. And by the way, if you want further guidance with building up a profitable portrait photography business, I have a course that will go over everything that we're going to talk about in this video in much more detail. So if you want to check that out and fast track your progress even more, click the top link below. Step 1, no one is here to save you. Okay, obviously that sounds very depressing. It's a great start to the video, right? But hear me out, let me explain. So when I first started out doing portrait photography, I always used to think the way to get paid work was just through people reaching out to me, people going to me for photo shoots, messaging me about photo shoot opportunities to get paid work, etc. And I think it mainly came from when I first started doing this in a more professional manner, getting paid to do so. I used to shadow and work with a big established wedding photographer in my city and my area, and I'd work on basically all of his photo shoots, be his assistant, help him out, whatever it was. And obviously he would invite me to all his photo shoots, and he would do a shoot seemingly every other week or every single week with a client. If that's a wedding, if that's a shoot with some dresses, some cool fashion shoot or something like that with a model, whatever it was, I used to get invited to his shoots all the time. I would even ask him sometimes too, how do you get all these shoots? How do you get paid so much? And how do you get so many shoots booked as a photographer? And he would always say the same thing or something similar. I'm like, yeah, it's always them messaging me. So I've always got an email inquiry or something like that. They contact me, word of mouth, etc. And I used to think that is how I should approach my business. If he's getting all his work from word of mouth and people messaging him, I should do the same. I should just wait until someone gets what I get word of mouth or something like that, and they message me for a photo shoot. And it's nothing to do with me. It's just a look. I'm just not getting the email inquiries, and he is. Little did I know that I should not approach my business and my portfolio in the same way that he was, because he already had an established portfolio. He already had the crazy portfolio. He had the client base. He had the connections within the industry. He obviously, to get that word of mouth, he's worked with a lot of different people, so he could get away. He had the pleasure. He's earned that pleasure of just being able to kind of live his life and just do whatever and expect an email inquiry from a client. But in the early stages, you could not rely on that. I could not rely on that back in the day. I could not just be sitting around and waiting for an email and being well, no one's messaging me for shoots, so how can I get paid? No. What do you think he did in the early stages? What do you think that I did in the early stages to get to the position I'm in today? I used to build up my portfolio, going out there and taking action, cold outreach models, messaging models on Instagram being let's do a collab shoot sometime, blah, 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 let's get a shoot done, let's learn how to build my portfolio, maybe emailing photographers being I want to shadow you. That's exactly how I got to shadow him, going through emails, cold emails, and just yeah, that's how I got that work. Even messaging potential clients, messaging them being oh yeah, would you want any photography services, etc. Just going out there and trying to build up your business as much as possible in any way possible, because you see these professionals that these big established photographers that don't really do that. They don't really go out there and do a bunch of emails and do a bunch of messaging on Instagram. But that doesn't mean that you don't do that. They don't do that now, but how do you think they got to that position? It was from doing those things. And I think most, if not all the opportunities, not all, but a lot of the opportunities, the paid opportunities and the opportunities that I've gotten as a photographer has been through me going out there, reaching out to people to work with them, etc. How do you think I get all these portfolio building shoots done? I do about 1 or 2 portfolio building shoots a month. And that is literally from me messaging people. That is literally from me going out there, cold outreaching the people that I've never worked with before, or people that I already have worked with before, being let's organize a shoot, etc. It seems like very simple advice, going messaging people, but you'd be surprised the amount of people that don't do that, and the amount of opportunities that you can get through simply messaging people. you never know, you could get a paid shoot with a client if you just simply message that potential client being like, oh, you're looking for any like photography services, I'll love to help out or something like that. You'd be surprised the amount of work that you can get just through that alone. And the program that I mentioned earlier, by the way, I give out a full message template. Like I give out like a thing of like what you need to say in specific scenarios, like how to message a model for a shoot, what specifically to say to actually get responses from them, because you will message a bunch of models and people to work with, but you're going to get a lot of people that don't message you back. So if you want to kind of lower that percentage of people that ghost you, I'll tell you how to do that in the program. Obviously, you may get that random email inquiry. That does happen. Of course it does. It still happens to me to this day. Of course it happens to me now because I'm in my position that I'm in. But even before, it did happen to me occasionally where I'll get a message from a person on Instagram or a person from an email being like, I've got this shoot, would you want to work on it or whatever. But a lot of that came from just me going out there and messaging people. But I feel like even then though, it's like, yeah, I got those random email inquiries, but because the only way I was able to get those email inquiries was through me taking action and building up my portfolio, because those clients that inquired looked at my portfolio that I built with the action that I took. So indirectly, that's still me working and putting in and taking action. It's essentially like a massive mindset shift that you need to take right now. Like, take responsibility and put it into your own hands. Stop relying on other people to get you work and to find you job opportunities, etc. It's through you. This is the same with like any sort of business or any sort of like whatever it is. It's through you having to apply to a bunch of jobs on LinkedIn if you're looking for a day job. It's, as a photographer, it's you going out there, messaging people for photo shoots, learning how to build up your business, watching videos just like this. So obviously you're on the right track if you're watching this video, but you're doing things that actually progress your business. I always suggest too, allocate a certain time slot to just thinking and breathing photography. Like spend like a couple of hours a week just thinking and breathing photography, learning about how you can build up your business, watching videos like this in your free time, going out there, actually cold outreaching to models, shooting, building up your portfolio, etc. Because you'll be surprised the amount of progress that you can make and the amount of opportunities that you can create for yourself through doing this. And step 2, if you want to be hired for creative jobs, be creative from the start. In other words, choose to be the photographer you actually want to be. Like, what style of shooting do you actually want to go for as a portrait photographer? Don't think that you're confined to a very specific way of shooting or a very specific style of photography to make some money. Because you see the photographers online that tell you like, you can't make money from your creativity, you have to be super corporate or whatever, you have to do what I'm doing, I'm telling you what you should do. And it's like nothing to do with what you actually want to do as a photographer, what you actually want to get paid for. You want to get paid to do shoots that you actually love doing and you have a passion for it. And you don't have that passion if you feel like you're confined to a very specific way of shooting. You can make money being the photographer you actually want to be, you shooting however you want to shoot. I recently made a video about your creativity and how you can make money from your creativity the right way. And one of the things I said in this video was a musician analogy. So let's say there's a musician that they perform a lot of cover songs. Let's say they perform in bars and restaurants. They play a lot of cover songs. So they play a lot of songs from other artists and they sing those songs instead. They've been doing that for a few months, maybe a couple of years or whatever. And they've built up that reputation as a cover artist. They've built up a reputation as like, we sing cover songs. We sing songs from other artists. And then that person wants to make that transition into shooting original music. Or not shooting, sorry, singing original music. So they want to start by singing, they're writing their own music, they're writing their own whatever it is, and they're making their own music, not cover music anymore. They start doing that, but they don't receive the same response from the audience as they did with their cover songs because they've built up that reputation as a cover artist. So it's not gonna hit the same. It isn't gonna work out as well because they've built up a massive fan base or audience of people that like their cover music, where now they're making original music. Some of them may like it, but for the most part, you're basically starting over again. You're basically starting from the very beginning when, like, it's the same thing with your photography, where You can't just do a bunch of boring and commercialized, like whatever it is, thinking that's how you're going to make money and then transition to being more creative in the future, when that's not going to work, because the clients that you were working for in the past, or the clients that you were potentially attracting, aren't going to be interested anymore. And you're just starting all over again. So you might as well just like be a creative from the very beginning and do what you want to be doing from the very beginning, because either way, you're going to want to do that eventually, so you might as well start with that, if that makes any sense. So by you trying to conform to a certain way of shooting because you think that's going to help you make money, you're literally chasing those short-term thrills, those little dopamine of like getting a couple of jobs at the start because it's corporate or whatever, when it's like, that isn't going to help you in the future. You need to stick to the creative stuff, stick to what you want to be shooting from the very beginning. So you build up that reputation as that certain photographer that gets hired for those certain types of jobs. Obviously, you can transition and make that transition into being the creative photographer, but you might as well do it from the start. Obviously, you can do it now, it's better than never doing it, but yeah, you might as well do it from the start if you haven't started already. And that's exactly what I did. I was being this more experimental, and still am, it's being more experimental, risky and creative photographer. And yeah, in those earlier stages, it was kind of difficult because it was very stylized and very unique and very niche, but as soon as I started to like do a lot of it and get better at it and improve it and learn how to make a portfolio that will attract clients, I am now landing clients that pay me a lot of money because they want my specific style of shooting. I've got a shoot of a clothing brand next week, and one of the things that they said was like, we love your style. We want your specific style of shooting because we want to show off something unique. We don't want to do just like boring e-commerce, whatever it is, like high key lighting, no shadows, whatever it is. They want to do something more fun and creative and stylized to make their product stand out. So you can see how I've been able to use my style to my advantage. I'm able to charge more money because I'm unique and different compared to other people in the marketplace. And also, I'm more likely to attract these clients because I have something different about me. Especially with like AI and stuff coming up, right? Especially with AI and like all these other stuff, and the really saturated market. Being a more unique and stylized photographer is going to help you. Like, I'm not worried about AI taking my job or something like that, because my work is sick. My work is sick. Like, no one can create work like me. Like, no one is as good. I know people photographers are better than me, but as in, like, no one could create work like me. I'm unique. AI could not create my work. I know what I'm doing, and like, I'm better than AI. AI could never replicate my work, so I'm not worried about that. And if you're finding the video useful so far, you might as well check out the full guide, which is my course, which is top link below. That will teach you everything that you need to know about building up a profitable portrait photography business. It's 3+ hours long. There's 40 videos in the course. Go over literally step-by-step guide. Tell you how to build up your portfolio from literally nothing to an established portfolio that lands you regular clients. I'm not going to teach you how to land 1 or 2 jobs, but I teach you how to make this a full-time career. It's for everyone too. You can be a beginner, intermediate, more advanced. This is going to be perfect for you because this is a long-term game. I've been doing this for 3 years, and only recently I've been able to, like in the last 6 months and year, I've been able to build up this business, and I want to help you get there in a much quicker way. Like, I don't want you to be twiddling your thumbs for 5 years and you're 5 years in and you're still not making money from it. Like, I want you to go into the photography doing it 1 or 2 years in and you're making a living from it. And I teach you exactly how to do that in the top link below. So check it out. But yeah, step 3, don't neglect social media. Obviously, in the first point, I did talk a lot about you going out there, you finding models to shoot with, you finding paid work, etc. But having a strong social media presence is going to help you significantly with the practices that I've told you throughout this video, but also with attracting those clients. And also how to market yourself as a portrait photographer. I wanted to make this point because the amount of photographers that don't post on social media or don't really post that much is insane. They say they have this business and they want to make money from it, but they don't really take it that seriously because they don't really market themselves that much. They don't really advertise themselves that much. They don't really post on Instagram. They don't really take that many photos. And a quick tip for easy followers and a head start in your business on Instagram is, and it saves you time from having to build up from nothing, make your main account right now, your main Instagram account that you have right now, turn that into your photography account. Because you find if you make a second account, you make a separate account for your photography and you try to promote it, it gets no followers, no one even follows you back on there. You have to start from 0 followers and you just start building up from there. And it's like, yeah, okay, could you do that? Yeah, you can, but it's like, what do you post right now on your main account? What do you really post? Like, you post selfies? Like, no one really gives a shit about your selfies. No one gives a shit about your vacation photos or whatever, your photos that you took with your friend or whatever like that. Just turn that account into your photography account. That's exactly what I did, and it's fine because you could make a new account, but then you have a second account and you don't really use it because you forget you even have it, because the main account that you use for Instagram is your personal account, and you can literally forget that you have a second account. Like, you forget you even have it, and you don't even post on it. Like, it sounds like, oh, you just make an account from scratch, and it's great. But like, if you want to prevent yourself from actually forgetting that you have the account and not neglect social media and Instagram or whatever, just make your main account that you use your photography account, because anything you post on there, it's on your photography account. Obviously, you can't post very specific stuff, but again, you can still be very personal as well. Like, if you look at my photography account, it is linked below. You can check it out. There is personal stuff on there. Like, I've got selfies on there. I've got like photos on vacation or whatever on there, but like, that's actually a good thing. A lot of photographers actually do that, where they have like their main photography account is also treated like a personal account in a way, where they still post their selfies, they still post stuff on their Instagram story, lifestyle stuff that they're doing, their day-to-day life. Like, you can still do that, and it's actually better too, because it shows that you're actually a real human being. And you're not going to do that if you have a second account. You're not going to do that if you have a second photography account. You're just going to post all your personal stuff on your main account. So you might as well make your main account your photography account. So when you're posting your personal stuff, you're also posting it on your photography account. It makes you look like a real human being, and it creates that personal connection between you and the audience, and you're actually going to be more likely to get hired for that. You'd be surprised at how many people get hired for jobs simply because of something more personal, like, oh, this person gives a good vibe, or this person has the same interest as me, or we both go to the gym, we both do this specific thing, and it like works out that way. That person will want to hire you over another photographer, because that other photographer, they don't really relate to that person, but they relate to you. I've literally gotten clients through specific Instagram posts. Like, I've posted a photo on Instagram and they've looked at that, not like they've looked on my website or my portfolio, but they've looked at my Instagram, so specifically my Instagram post, and they've hired me from those photos. They've looked at, oh, that's a really sick photo. I want something similar for my brand or for my shoot or ad campaign or whatever it is. And that's how it works. Because that's mainly how you're going to promote your business. Like, most people aren't just going to find you from Google. Like, that's not going to happen. They're just going to go on Google search engine and you're going to come up, right? You're going to type in London photographers, whatever it is, and you're going to come up. Like, no, it's going to be from your Instagram. Obviously, your Instagram is going to then funnel them into your website, into your full portfolio. But don't think you're having a website or something like that is going to somehow just make it like everyone's going to be able to discover you through that. You need to have an Instagram account or some sort of social media to promote that portfolio and to promote your business, because in reality, it sounds unprofessional or whatever, but like, everyone uses social media. The big professional, the big clients that you get hired for, the production companies, the clothing brands, they have teams where they have social media and they look at people's social media, specifically photographers, and they look at who they want to work for. They don't do the more traditional way where they go on Instagram or they go on Google and type in photographers in their area. Like, they do it through specifically social media. So you need to get with that and post on social media. Obviously post your photos, but also post reels, post lighting breakdowns, tips and tricks maybe like talk about your certain experience as a photographer on a specific photo shoot. Talk about your most recent photo shoot in some sort of way. Again, my program, which is top link below, there's like a module in there which goes over everything that I do about marketing my social media account, what I post, my process, how I edit my videos, like that specific things. You don't know how to edit videos. I'll tell you how to edit the videos too. Like, I go into a lot more detail than that, but yeah, just post as much as possible. Post whatever you can post, and just make sure you're keeping active on social media. And again, if you make your main account your Instagram account, when you're posting on there you're posting on your story like a simple thing like, oh, I'm out and about today at a coffee shop or whatever doing work, you can post that on your Instagram story, and that increases numbers. That makes more people look at your profile, more people find you through that way. Obviously, that's how the algorithm works. The Instagram algorithm, YouTube algorithm, whatever, they love channels and accounts that post consistently, that post a lot. They boost them a lot more than people that don't post at all. So yeah, take advantage of that. Because social media is going to be like your main way you're going to be able to get work. And again, I teach that all in my program. I teach everything there is to do about social media, pricing yourself, networking tips, how to make the perfect portfolio. Like, I go into full detail with how you can make this your full-time career. I won't just give you these vague steps of like, make a portfolio, build a portfolio, make connections. No, I'm going to like specific methods that I have used over the years to help me get to my position. I go into very specific things about messaging your models, or what to message them specifically, what to message your clients, how to invoice a client, how to follow up on them, how to pitch yourself as a photographer to get paid work in the future. Whatever it is, I want to help you with that. So yeah, click the top link below if you want to check that out. But yeah, that's it for the video though. Thank you for watching. Hope that you found this video useful. Click on this video right here to learn more about portrait photography, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.